Well, a number of policy tweaks are hoped to remove barriers to employment, including for older Australians.
We will make permanent the measures that we announced at the Jobs and Skills Summit that will allow for a higher balance in a pensioner's income bank of $11,800 that they will be able to earn through seasonal or ad hoc work before their pension is affected.
So more avenues permanently locked in there, or more ability to earn money and keep it once you are of retirement age. Joining me now is Council of the Ageing Acting CEO Corey Irlam. Thanks for your time. What did you make of this? Is this transformative or not the big change you were after?
Oh, look, it's a good blueprint that lays down a foundation. There's more detail to come as government considers how to implement it. We welcome the $4,000 staying permanently that allows people to now earn up to $11,800. But unfortunately, there's still things that businesses need to do to make sure that their workplace is an inclusive one for older people.
You've spoken a lot before about ageism. I was interested reading your release as you're talking about not retirees, but even people in their 50s, which seems a young age for that sort of, I suppose, attitude to kick in. What are people who are maybe only 50, early 50s experiencing? What do you think the ageism is based on in terms of their ability to work?
Yeah, so about a quarter of people over the age of 50 tell us that they experienced ageism in the workplace. We know part of this is coming from the 1 in 3 approximately employers who say they wouldn't employ somebody over the age of 50. That's been getting better over the last 5 years. It's now down to about 27% of employers saying they wouldn't employ somebody over 50. And this comes from a number of reasons. One, we see that the person who's doing the hiring feels uncomfortable about hiring an older person that might be perceived to be more experienced than them. They're not sure how to manage them. We see team leaders talking about, how do I manage an intergenerational team? So from younger people right the way through to older people, how do I create that team culture in relation to, going out to the pub and having something to talk about, having a fun work environment. It's those sort of challenges. But we also see from older people telling us, and not all employers recognise this, but the way they go about recruiting, the things that they put into their recruitment ads, the language that they use is interpreted as code for, we only want young people working here.
Is there a big issue with technology? And technology's moved on, quickly in every generation, but I suppose that you feel like it goes particularly quickly in this day and age, that people go, oh, well, they're probably not au fait with some of the newer issues. I don't want to train someone up and, teach them whatever element of that job happens to be more online than others. Is that a common reason?
Look, employers certainly report to us that they're concerned about the skills of an older worker. That's not actually the reality that we see. We do see when somebody is employed at an older age, they're given less educational opportunities. But when they are given those educational opportunities, when they're sent off on a course on how to use ChatGPT, they actually come back with great skills on how to practically apply this, and they add value to the workforce. Some of the best results out there are saying that an intergenerational team is the most productive team, and that's the sort of team we want to see in Australia.
Is there a role at all for government? I mean, what you allude to is someone assuming that someone in their 50s isn't up to date with the latest technology is wrong, but it could be the case for someone who's having to transition jobs. So, short courses that the government might help people out for in terms of that retraining, more of that focus to be online and really specific, make it short, make it specific so they upskill for a job they might be able to get. And then the employer can say, hey, I know that they get this stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, the design of this new skills passport. Will it just be qualifications like diplomas and degrees, or is it also going to include short courses or components of a degree? In aged care, for example, there's 2 that come to mind: manual handling, medication management. These things are subjects in a diploma for aged care. Will you actually see whether that person has just that course, or will you only see that person in the skills passport once they get there?
When you get to older Australians at retirement age that are thinking, actually, I want to still be involved in some way in a job, what's the best way, do you think, they'll be able to help the economy going forward? Because are they after sort of part-time the previous work they did? I guess some people want to sort of give back, and that always helps society as well. But what are they keen to do?
Yes, so let's go back to what's called transition to retirement strategy. So while you're still in the workforce, going from, say, a full-time job to a part-time job, going from being the only person to perhaps job sharing, these sort of transition to retirement strategies, if effectively implemented, will actually retain somebody in the workforce for longer. Once they're out of the workforce and they're looking to come back in, it's often about whether or not they're going to lose too much money about their pension. So having that extra $4,000 increase helps with that. We'll
All
continue to
right.
talk in a moment about how they can turn around and fix the other barrier, which is the taper rate, where people lose 50 cents in the dollar over that limit. That's often
Yeah.
a psychological barrier, saying, oh, why would I work if I'm going to be paying back 50 cents? So messaging about how to make it a bit easier and how they explain it.
Yeah, it's quite the marginal tax rate, isn't it? All right, Corey Irlam, thank you for your time.